Good afternoon. My name is Jack Bridle, and I have the privilege of being a teacher, football coach, and athletic director here during the great decade of the 70s. Today I'm here to introduce Jeff Coleman. Jeff started out here at Shorecrest as a third grader and continued right on through. He was a three-sport athlete. He was a star in middle school, the junior varsity, and the varsity football teams, as well as basketball and track. As a matter of fact, I believe Jeff was the first basketball player to dunk a basketball here when he was in the 11th grade, and I think he was 6 foot tall. So if you know anything about jumping, sign of athletic ability. Jeff was a gifted athlete. He had the trifecta going. He had strength, he had balance, and he had speed. That's a pretty good combo. His featured sport was football. He played both running back as well as linebacker, and quite frankly, he was outstanding in both of those positions. Jeff lived on Pinellas Point, which is where I live too, and to keep him in a little extra state of fitness, Jeff would run the ditches. And some of you are saying, what do you mean run the ditches? We had drainage ditches. A lot of them were near Jeff's house and my house, and they were 6 and 7 feet deep. Jeff would put on a weighted vest run up and down the ditches just like a snowboarder going through the half pipe. Down, back up, down, back up. That's a pretty tough condition. Jeff did that on his own because he wanted to be the best. Jeff even loved 2-a-day practices in the summer. Can you believe that? Jeff received many all-conference and all-state awards while he was here at Shorecrest. He was awarded a full football scholarship to Purdue University. He led it all 4 years and graduated in 1984. He was also voted team captain for the Peach Bowl that year at Purdue.
You know, for the past year and a half, I've been trying to honor God and work on my humility. So, you know, when I got the call for the, you know, that you guys were going to honor me with the Hall of Fame, that was a nice break. It was not a full academic scholarship. It was an athletic scholarship. It's funny because when I was up at Purdue on my recruiting visit, I was at lunch with Coach Arcee, and you know, we were going over my grades from high school, and you know, and it was looking pretty grim. Coach Arcee said, "You know what? If we add your PE grades in here, I think we can just get you there." and you know, and I'm thinking the whole time, don't you know where I went to high school? I went here. You know what? And this is a great academic school. You know, to get a C here, you get an A elsewhere. I'm sorry. You know what? Thank God for minimums to play football and basketball and track. Because you know what? You knew what you had to do. And that's what I had to do. So. Anyway, thank you, Coach Bridle, and the nominating committee. I'm humbled. I really am. I want to thank Harold Bergman. For those of you who didn't know Harold Bergman, he was my PE coach when I was a little kid. Taught me a lot about physical fitness and humility. Just a great, great person. I was able to talk with him right before he passed away, and I mean, meant the world to me. Coach Schaefer, our basketball coach, Phil Hayford. I can't say enough about Coach Hayford. The respect and the friendship that you've given me over the years has meant the world to me. You're just a class act. love you to death. Carlene and Bruce Haskell, thank you so much for letting this third grader come here. My first class here, they didn't have room in third grade, so they put me in fourth grade class. The first class I went into, Senora Elora was doing Spanish, and they were writing in cursive. I didn't know either. So, you know, and one thing I did learn from Senora Elora, you learn a lot more Spanish when you're actually in the class and not outside the door. I learned Latin here, took many years of Latin. Mr. Blessing, he went single mustache, got him mustache wax every Christmas. We went to the Latin Olympics. You know, I thought they had me on the team just because I knew Latin very well. There was a chariot, so there was a chariot race, so I was holding a chariot. That's what they had here. So anyway, I appreciate you all being here, and I am so very, very humbled. This is just amazing, and I don't feel like I deserve it, but you know what? Thank you so much.
I actually have the real privilege and the honor to be introducing a teammate of mine and friend of mine, Shane Spears. And when it comes to Hall of Fames and athletic endeavors, sometimes people recognize those that were born with great build or skill, and the phrase of he's a God-given athlete or it comes natural. And we spend a lot of time focusing on folks like that. The thing that makes this so special, and part of why I'm so proud of Shane, is that that's not the case. No offense. But Shane was not big. Shane was not strong. Shane was definitely not fast. But Shane was smart and determined, very competitive, and an extremely hard worker who was coachable, and he got absolute most out of his potential and ability. He developed and executed day in and day out to become a Hall of Fame player. Shane graduated from Shorecrest in 1991, went here from 2nd grade to 12th grade. He played basketball. That's not why we're talking about him, but he did play his 9th, 10th, and 12th year basketball. He was the MVP of the basketball JV. But baseball is where he developed his athletic career and where he's being recognized. Set him down. As a junior, he pitched a complete game victory in the championship game to win the Seminole Eastern Tournament. For those of you who don't know, that's not just 1A teams. That's the biggest, best teams in the county. And Shorecrest came in the year before we finished second. This year, Shane comes in and wins that game. He also, as a senior, he threw a no-hitter against Miami Measurement, which was also a top 10 ranked team, to advance to the state Final Four. He had 9-4. He was 9-4 that year with a .72 ERA and batting .516. He was a Mizuno first team All-American. He was first team All-State, All-County, All-Tribune. Again, these are things that are not just measuring him, but measuring all the guys that play in the area. All-Tournament team for the Eastern Tournament. He was a Shorecrest MVP. And one of only 4 players from Pinellas County to play the state All-Star game. He pretty much just dominated through high school.
Well, I just want to say it's an honor to be standing up here in front of you today. The fact that Shorecrest is doing this for their alumni is just fabulous. Their former athletes being able to go in the Hall of Fame. It's just really neat and a tribute to Shorecrest. And the Distinguished Alumni Award, I think that is just fabulous. What's neat about Shorecrest is Shorecrest produces great people. They really do. And just in my senior class alone, I was trying to rattle off some names in my head, and I was like, less than 50, I think, in my graduating class. And I don't know what everybody is doing right now, but I know there are at least 4 lawyers, 4 doctors, 2 pilots, 2 professors, politicians, and there's some guy named Patrick Wilson who's a Hollywood actor. So, they just produce great people, and I'm just honored to be a part of that. Oh, my teammates, holy cow. Jim, you know how good we were. Oh my gosh. And the reason I'm standing up here right now is because of my teammates. We were, I'll be cocky about it, we were good. We really were. I mean, I'm so proud to be a part of it. And because we were so good, guys such as myself were able to be recognized in situations like this. So it's because of those guys that I'm up here as well. I mean, just on that 1989 state championship team alone, we had on our starting nine, we had 7 guys who wanted to play college baseball. That's unheard of. Much like at a 6A level, I don't care. Much less at a small 1A school, which we were back then. So, my coaches, man, I've been so blessed to have some of the best coaches that I could ever imagine. Here at Shorecrest, I played. Coach Bill Van Evan was one of my coaches. He was the assistant coach my 8th, 9th, and 10th grade year, and he was my head coach my junior and senior year. And Coach Van Evan was great because one thing that he always did, and we ran things pretty tight around there. Coach Mickey ran a tight ship, and we had some fabulous practices. But one thing Coach Van always would do, he would always make us laugh. He'd always make us smile and giggle. And even though we were getting our work done, we really didn't feel like we were working. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, Coach Van Evan, for that. Coach Don Reed is here. He was my assistant coach my junior and senior year here at Shorecrest. And man, what a blessing it was for him to come onto the staff. I know he coached longer here as the head coach. Coach Reed, thank you for all that you did. And if anybody wants to learn how to hit baseball, go see that man. Because he really helped push me to become better there. At my junior year, I was batting just under 400, I think. And he came on board my senior year after working with him. He had me batting over 500. So Coach Reed, thank you for that. And Coach Jim Dickey is here. He's in the back. And outside of my father, Coach Biggie, you're the biggest influence on my baseball career. And I appreciate everything that you did for me. And I've been able to, obviously I've played a lot of baseball. I'm still doing baseball to this day. I've been around tons of coaches, and I've played under some fabulous coaches. One of my coaches was SEC Coach of the Year. I've got a coach that was NCAA 2-time National Coach of the Year. And I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, that's the best coach that I ever played for. He was amazing. And the stuff that I learned from him, I'm still using to this day. As Jim said, I'm running a baseball training facility, and I'm still using some of this stuff that I learned from him, even to this day. So thank you, Coach Baker. So Shorecrest is a special place, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. And Jim, thank you for that, and go Chargers.
Today, I'm honored to speak on behalf of 2 of the Hall of Fame recipients. Because their stories and the reasons they're here are very similar, I've decided to tell you a little bit about their Shorecrest volleyball experience, since that is what I know most about. In 1992, they were freshmen. One was tall, a little awkward, very bright, and clearly had potential to be a very good volleyball player. The other was more naturally gifted athletically. She was strong, she was determined, she was also bright, and it was clear she too had great potential to make a difference on the court. As freshmen, they worked hard, learned the game better, and started to hone their skills. In 1993, it was their sophomore year. They had earned their starting positions, and they were already starting to have an impact on the team's success. This was the year Shorecrest volleyball started to be seen as a team that could play the game. The first proof of this was when they won second place in a very competitive Keswick Invitational tournament. The Chargers showed a lot of grit that weekend, playing in a gym without air conditioning and making it to the final match, as they could be. Their junior year, the 1994 season was great. They played some very tough opponents, but they were not phased. They beat Lakewood twice, a team that ended up as the Class 4A state runner-up team. And despite having some very good competition in their district, they finished undefeated against district opponents as they captured the first district championship in volleyball since 1985. They won a regional championship game in 37 minutes and made it to the Elite 8 for the first time in school history. They got to ride a fancy bus to West Palm Beach to play King's Academy. And even though they lost the match to the eventual state champion that year, it was a night they will always remember. As soon as the match was over, their senior setter and captain was whisked away to the airport to get on a private plane piloted by a Shorecrest parent. The goal was to get her back in time to ride around the track to get recognized as a member of the homecoming court. She made it with minutes to spare, and it was well worth the trip when she was crowned homecoming queen. So now it's the senior season of these two amazingly talented individuals. The year is 1995. 19 years ago. The team set some goals. To finish better than last season was at the top of their list. This team was a team in the true sense of the word. They all got along on the court, and they were all team-oriented. They were going to play in the state championship match against Tallahassee and Clay on Saturday. As we boarded the bus at Shorecrest, it was clear that this team was ready. They were focused and really excited about what was to come. The bus ride was pretty quiet, until Heather walked from the back of the bus to let me know we had a problem. In my head, I was thinking, what could possibly be wrong? When she told me she just realized she had only packed one shoe for the game, my head started to spin. How could this very intelligent, organized, and focused individual forget to pack a shoe? Surely she was making this up to make my hair turn gray. No. In fact, she only had one shoe. There's no way she could play in the sandals she wore, so now we started to think of solutions. It was too late to call her parents because they were already on the way, and we could not think of anyone else who could come to the rescue. So now we started to go through the bus looking for an extra pair of size 9.5 tennis shoes. Of course, nobody brought extra shoes. This was not the way I had imagined this dream season would end, with our best player on the bench with only one shoe. It was then that Coach McClellan came through and offered her size 9 shoes. Heather tried them on, and this Cinderella part of the story ended as she crammed her foot into the shoes and said they were fine. Crisis averted. The match was an extremely well-thought battle. They played really well that day, taking the match to 3 games before losing 15-8, 3-15, 15-8. They were part of the best volleyball team in the school's history. In their senior year, they finished as the Class 2A state runner-up team, the second best team in the whole state of Florida in their size classification. I'm pretty sure their volleyball careers at Shorecrest are the main reason they're here today, to take their places in the Hall of Fame. Now that I'm in honor,
this award really is a tribute to the opportunities and confidence that Shorecrest, my coaches, my teammates, and my family gave to me. At first, I didn't expect to make the varsity team, so I'll never forget when Session sat Maurice and I down in our office to tell us why she was giving us that chance. She encouraged me to play club volleyball and had more confidence in me than I had in myself. My work ethic's probably attributed most to Coach Moore and his daughters, who basically taught me that even after running probably about like 30 suicides, that I can still go make some free throws afterwards. They taught me some incredible strength that I didn't even think I had, and that came into help me out a lot in college. My favorite teammate trio, Sarah Chaco, Bess Wright, and Kim Katie stepped up, especially in races of my senior year, and helped us create a team that's yet to be rivals in terms of results at Shorecrest, and they made Maurice and I feel like superstars. I love getting to be on the same team with my sister, Lisa. She earned the other middle starting position by my senior year, so it was great having her on my team. And then there's Marisa. She was my cover partner for probably, I'm pretty sure all 4 years, and even in club. And she had an intensity and unrivaled by my teammates later at Georgia Tech. We made a great combination. She stood out as the hardworking, determined, leading by example, never giving up type person. And I had somehow grown into a little bit louder, more vocal leader. Even though she moved up north, we stay in touch and enjoy watching each other's kids grow up. And it's pretty cool that we come back and we pretty much have attended almost every year the Shorecrest Turkey Bowl game. It's fun to go beat up on the volleyball players that are still around. Shorecrest fully supported us and made us feel like heroes. They had pep rallies, they had the band that to our games, they chartered the bus to come to our game, and gave a couple school day off school. I'll always remember running out to Eye of the Tiger, or Mr. Moore's picked songs like Joe Cocker and Aretha Franklin. It made us feel like we owned the gym every time we got on the court. My parents and even both sets of grandparents were at nearly every volleyball, basketball, and softball game, no matter how far the drive. And even my later in-laws and my husband were often in attendance. They tried to overcoach me. They were supportive of all coaching decisions and encouraged me to be a good teammate and hard worker. Gave me energy and confidence I needed even when I felt down, and made me feel like I could do no wrong on the court. And I'll never forget Best Right belting out. Kevin Park says, enter the building every time you walk into the gym. I'm grateful for the time we spent in the gym. Not many married couples can recap their spouse's high school games. And never be forgotten, heading to the state tournament finals, as proud as could be of all the county and state recognition we've gotten and the stacks of newspaper articles we had racked up. A couple minutes from Lakeland, brought back down to earth as I realized I didn't have that shoe. And incredibly grateful that Coach McCollum wears almost the same size as me. I'll never forget that game, and even though we didn't end up with a win, we fought hard and had a lot to be proud of. And of course, my out-of-character mistakes, I am usually pretty responsible, made for a great newspaper article the next day, and of course my kids will never let me live that one down either. And accepting the award, though, I'm most grateful to Sesh. She worked so much, she worked overtime, constantly giving us new drills, coming up with new reward systems like the sticker boards we always go check, the kills we filling up, overflowing from Maurice and I before the games. She made us feel like the most important people around and that we were unstoppable. And while all this was going on, for Shorecrest to have simultaneously encouraged both this excellent in athletics and academics, I'm truly indebted. Two of my, by far best teachers I've ever had, Mr. Moore and Coach Field are here, and Coach Field made calculus a breeze at Georgia Tech, which most people don't usually say, and Mr. Moore's NAMU test made pretty easy at college too. I'm truly honored to be adding Hall of Fame to my co-valedictorian and Pinellas County Scholar Athlete of the Year awards, my two other proudest moments that I can contribute to what Shorecrest did for me. And so for all this to result in the ability to play Division I volleyball at Georgia Tech, where I could study what I wanted and not be too far from home, was a true blessing that I thank all of you and Shorecrest for making possible. And now that I'm back to coaching again, and this time coaching my own daughter, I'm constantly drawing on things with my Shorecrest coaches like Brad Moore, Kathy Newton, Coach McClellan, Coach Sesh, his daughters even, they gave me help to coach out, coach us in basketball. The things they taught me, and then the encouraging my players to be the kind of teammates that I was fortunate to have while I was at Shorecrest, and all while attempting to be as supportive of my kids and my family always was for me. Thank you for this wonderful luncheon, the incredible recognition, and for including me in the athletic